Oh, okay, that can be as done. Okay, not to worry, no wonder. Okay, thank you. All right, we're going live now. We are going live. Are you ready? Good morning, everyone, and welcome.
I can see the notification. It tells me that. So and again, that's from your console, right? Not the phone.
Yeah, from the console. Yeah.
My name is Adenike.
Oh, Mr. Baker.
98.1. Keep listening.
Okay, so we're going live.
I need to share. Did you see the tweet about the limits on cash deposits for dorm accounts? Did you see that?
Really? Did you tweet it? Were you not tweeted or was it trending?
Somebody else tweeted it. I'm trying to figure out.
Okay, we're on now.
Transaction solutions you can depend on.
Smooth 98.1, love music, love life. I am Mairo-Ese. It's time for today's edition of Business Express 981. On today's show, I have Rotus. Good morning, Rotus. How are you today?
Fine, thank you, Ayo. Good morning to you. Good morning to all our listeners and viewers out there.
Excellent. You're looking quite dapper. And I'm saying that so that people can head on to YouTube page, Smooth 981 FM Lagos, and watch us live. You can also drop your comments in the comment section to let us know your thoughts on the stories we'll be discussing this morning. You can also call, okay, you can't call. You can send us a WhatsApp message, 0809 444 0981, or tweet at us at Smooth 981 FM. Use the hashtag Business Express 981. The topic of conversation is actually on our Twitter handle, so you can see that ahead of time, read up on it so you can get involved in the conversation. And most of what we're going to be doing this morning, Rotus, is reviewing the highlights from the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority's 2020 performance. And I see that you tagged them as well in your post. So I hope they're listening to us this morning.
Yeah, we tagged them. Yeah, they did well. The Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority manages Nigerian Sovereign Wealth Funds. The Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority Act was signed way back in May of 2011. They commenced operations in October of 2018. And essentially, the Sovereign Wealth Fund is supposed to manage excess surplus income from oil. So our benchmark is at $40 per barrel. Any excess oil that is sold above that amount was supposed to be able to get those extra returns into the Sovereign Wealth Fund. The federal government gave the fund seed capital of $1 billion to kick off. I think to date, they've also received an extra $500 million. But last year, in terms of income, they realized about $160 billion in income last year due to investments in the United States, Japan, Europe, and can't remember which other country, but they've got foreign investments around the world where they returns. I believe in 2019, actually 51 billion of that came from foreign exchange gains. So the amount of FX that they held, because of the movement of FX, they were able to realize about 51 billion. So core earnings, you have to take away that 51 billion from the 160. It was about 8 billion that they made. But if at 160, well, that's a big jump from 2019, where they made about just 36 billion naira in. That's when you convert it back, 36 billion in total income. Their net assets, that's your assets minus your liabilities, jumped up about 33%. It grew to about 772 billion. So they did well. None of these funds are going to be channeled towards infrastructure projects. Lagos-Ibadan Road, which is going to be tolled, by the way. Abuja-Kano.
Sorry, let me just, I had to break, because that. So at what point on the expressway, Lagos-Ibadan, would the toll, because there's the old toll that's getting in from what's popularly called with the drinks name, Alausa side. So where would the new toll be?
I'm not sure, but the main point is that the road has to pay for itself. And so okay. I support tolls, at least on major roads that have heavy traffic. You've got to make sure that they are wide enough so that they can pay, so that the infrastructure can pay back for itself. If it doesn't, then you're just sinking money. It's not going to have any type of return. So they are saying that's going to be told at some point. But that road, that Lagos-Ibadan road, is taking forever. But either way,
It is taking
they made money investing overseas. That is the way here. This is a sovereign wealth fund that is supposed to generate. So the thing is for any average Nigerian that's listening to this news, okay, great. Sovereign wealth fund made 160 billion, made over 50 billion of that came from foreign, from USD and so on and so forth. Okay, what about me? What about you? What about the average Nigerian? How does the average Nigerian also maximize their returns? Now, fixed income returns on, I think, sovereign bonds here, or based Naira denominated bonds, they are rising, they're going up. I think it's about 11-12% or so. A 1-year T-bill, the auction now, because of the public holiday, there was supposed to be a T-bill auction today. It's now been postponed. By the way, there's a public holiday declared Wednesday, Thursday. Everybody's supposed to return to work on Friday. Just the productivity drop on Friday. There are some people who won't even go back on Friday, but then public holidays is another conversation.
There's actually there's a controversy around that, but I think that's for Freshly Pressed. But
yeah, you guys on Freshly Pressed take that one. But just my own is for the purpose of business. Think about productivity. So anyway, there was supposed to be a treasury bill auction today, but it's been postponed because of the public holiday. But that 1-year T-bill now is about the last auction of 9.7. So rates are creeping back up.
Fantastic.
So I would encourage you to look into getting into the bonds or T-bills, at least on the second level. However, if the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Fund is enjoying double-digit returns from investing overseas, what about you? I mean, everybody that hears this news should be asking themselves, okay, so because the thing is, I'm still harping on this discussion around the fact that, the Naira, of course, has taken its lumps as far as value is concerned. We should be getting, in fact, again, because of this public holiday, I think we're supposed to, we might get inflation for April. I think we might get it on Friday or maybe next week. We'll see but it's expected to tick upwards further. Inflation is at 87%. So if your country has important investments overseas, the average Nigerian has to look at the same thing as well. We still are yet to hear from the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, with respect to those new licenses that it wants to compel the online brokerage services to get. We'll have to wait to see how much it will cost and what the effect will be. But the takeaway from this is that it's good for them. And by the way, they made all this money because the markets last year, because of all the stimulus that the US Fed pumped into the US market, equities they took off. I mean, Tesla, Apple, Amazon, equities around the world did very well. So it would make sense that if you are invested there, you'd make a lot of money as well. Now, not everybody has $1 billion in seed capital that the federal government gives to the Sovereign Investment Fund. But the point is to have a diversified portfolio and to protect your purchasing power, to look overseas. That's just the fact in order to keep your funds in check. Along those lines, I sent you a tweet on.
Yes, I was just going to ask you to comment on that, to break it down.
Go ahead. I think you should go ahead and read it out.
Okay, so it's a tweet by Samuel Otiba, who says the new CBN rule: you can't deposit more than $5,000 cash into your DOM account every month, except you're making transfers. Exceptions for oil and gas companies and any payment to government accounts.
So he's a brand strategist. I looked him up. I don't know how he got that information. Now, there's been no official word from the central bank, no circulars to that effect. However, by investigating, talking to a couple senior officials at the CBN and who didn't want to be quoted, and also talking to some bank official, deposit money bank workers who didn't want to be quoted either, it's true. It's actually true. And it looks like the central bank wants to stop people from hoarding dollar cash in their DOM account, if they feel that it should be converted to Naira, because we are in a society that is, we use the Naira, right?
Fair enough.
They also more electronic transfers, a cashless society. So that's the reason why electronic transfers are allowed. So, you know, you can have more than 5,000 going to your DOM account as long as it's through an electronic transfer.
Okay.
But the thing is, what happens to people, politicians don't like this, right? Folks who, if you have, you know, the big boys and girls who deposit more than $5,000 into their DOM account, where's that excess cash going to go? If they have to keep it at home, that's a safety issue, right? With level of insecurity. And, you know, we already know that people hoard money. What was that story 2 years ago, 3 years ago? The person who puts money in their sock away or whatever. So
yeah, and the Koi, let's not forget.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so the thing is, I understand the central bank also wants to try and, you know, streamline tracking of foreign exchange through its official channels and so on and so forth. I get what, you know, this unofficial, unwritten rule is. I understand what they're trying to do, but there could possibly be, you know, ramifications, you know, for that. And once again, if you think about where the Naira is, you think about where, you know, you can't hold it against an individual for wanting to
you're an advocate
in order to, you know, to protect their purchasing power. So
you advocate for storing your cash in dollars, don't you? So what's now going to happen to, how are you going to make the deposit? So you're going to be transferring?
Right. So if it's, the thing is, where's the transfer coming from? So it's a little complex because they're trying to reduce pressure on the parallel market. So people, where else can you get dollar cash from? It's the parallel market. So you go there, buy it, and then put it into your DOM account. So again, you're just limited to 5,000 per month for now. You know,
okay.
Someone is transferring it into your DOM account, then that's fine. Also, by the way, the Naira for dollar scheme has been extended. The central bank announced that, was it earlier this week or late last week? So where you get 5 Naira for every $1 that comes through international money transfer operators, the IMTOs. So there's boost remittances coming into Nigeria. And so the CBN, they introduced it back in March. It was supposed to expire May 2nd. And they've now extended it indefinitely. So if you've got brothers, sisters, relatives overseas who are sending you money through official international money transfer operators, you get 5 Naira for every $1 that comes in.
Excellent.
Money either in cash or get it transferred to your DOM account. So that's what's in the forex space. Right. You know, yeah.
So I have some comments with regards to that. Gbenga Kamu says, if the dollar hit your account, can you collect it cash in banks in Nigeria?
That is correct. Yes, you can.
All right. Nedu Onet says the CBN dollar rule is true. I had to split my USD cash deposits, but it helps to have more than one DOM account. That's another thing. So you can have more than one.
But true, yeah. So like with the same limit at each account, but that's correct. That's correct.
Otonoga from Aja says, Rotus, the problem we have is that we don't have access to dollars to invest. If you deposit dollar cash into your DOM account, you're not allowed to transfer the money for investment. You can only withdraw the money in cash. Where do we go from here?
Well, I think you can, as far as making wire transfers out of the account because of investment. I read there was one bank that sent out some notice with respect to that. I'm still investigating that, so whether or not that is correct with other banks. That was just, somebody shared it with me on WhatsApp, but that was coming from one bank saying that you can't, there was some limit or so with respect to wire it for the purpose of investment. It came from only one bank, so I still have to check and see whether that's uniform across the board. Again, the online platforms that the SEC license, they allow you to give them Naira and they convert it to dollars and then invest it for you in US dollar securities. But now with where we are, we're in limbo until the SEC licenses them. So, again, Bamboo, Trove, Chaka, Rice Invest, those guys. So I have to wait and see what happens, because that was the most convenient way to invest up until this point. So the SEC stepped in.
All right. Well, Tunde sends us a screen grab of his bank sending them an email to the effect. So just to confirm, the $5,000 deposits that you mentioned. All right, thank you so much, Rotus. As always, good conversation this morning. You can continue to follow the conversation online on our Twitter handle at Smooth981FM. Use the hashtag BusinessExpress981. You can also follow Rotus at Rotan Quotes and ask questions or have conversations around business news stories. You can catch a replay because I see Inka saying that he's just waking up, and good on you. I guess it's a holiday. So please, Inka, please check out our YouTube channel. A replay of today's show is on there, so you can find out all you need to. And if you have questions, then you can go onto Twitter to ask, and I'm sure that Rotus will be more than happy to respond. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Rotus. Today we're going to be looking at some stories making the headlines in Freshly Pressed 981. I'll have Divo and Olakunle joining me to analyze today's stories. Don't forget to also welcome your comments and contributions, so please do join the conversation at 7:30 a.m. Now, I would love to hear your feedback on Smooth 98.1, everything about us, listeners, programs, music, everything. We want to know what you think about them. So please kindly complete our feedback form, which is up on all our social media platforms. Twitter, it's pinned on our Twitter page, Instagram story. It's also on our WhatsApp story, on our website, www.smooth981.fm. You can just click there. 2 minutes. Let us know what you think, and we'll take on your feedback as you share. Thank you very much indeed, and thanks to everyone who's already completed. If you haven't, please kindly do us the honor of doing so. And that's it. We'll come back at 7:30 for Freshly Pressed 981. Enjoy some smooth music this morning.
Express, brought to you by EnterSwitch.
All right, bye everyone. Thank you so much for watching.